Uh, hey, Biveth. Californication is cool. We're here in California, and it's Californication and FSB Racing. California dreaming and going to California on a big jet airplane. Welcome to FSB Live. And this is the Pro Cup at California. And you got the best of the best of the best of the best out there, except for Robert Bokum, a late scratch.
Yeah, Milty, that's the big news tonight, I think. Even before we run a lap here at Cali, big news is Robert Bokum apparently having some kind of connection issue here, and fortunately it looks like he's going to miss the race.
Yeah, and that's going to really put a whammy as we see the FSB NRT ticker live here in Happy Hour. It's going to put a whammy on his points.
Yeah, man. And speaking of points, Milty, real quick as Happy Hour winds down here, let's put up those points. And you can see Robert Bokum was just 7 points out of the lead, so he's going to take a huge hit in points here. Tight racing here in the Pro Cup. Top 7 inside of 50 points so far into the season. Real competitive.
Yeah, you can't miss races, man. That sucks, you know. That's part of sim racing. It's kind of like another aspect of failure. You got the internet connection sometimes doesn't work, and that's like having a blown motor in the happy hour. You know, it sucks.
Yeah, and here we are, Milty. They're lined up on pit lane. Let's take a closer look here.
Well, we got the Cinza on the pole, and got Kevin Lewis going to a big track here. Been focusing pretty much on stuff that he just dominates in, and he's really, like you said, in last week at the end of the race there, he's going to try to make some of these, so yeah, he's definitely a player, man.
There we see outside pole, 5-car Sean Johnson, third place qualifying there, 303 of Ken Ron. And beside him is the 81 of Kevin Lewis.
Actually,
qualified fourth, so good. Good run by Kalu.
Glad you got the right screen on.
And there we see the 52 of Rick Johnson. 16 of Dan Francisconi, 17 T. Roy on through the field.
This setup is really fast and really loose. 200 miles an hour into the corner, and you have to be real careful on your entry. You guys are going to take wide entries once they get into lined up single file. Right now, too wide. You can use 2 lanes at this track, you know, definitely, and the outside lane gives you momentum.
You can, Milty, but it's not the way to go here. You wanna be able to come in high off of the wall and drive that car down into the middle of the turn and then accelerate off. And if you can't do it that way, you kind of suffer. And
yeah, you do.
We're getting ready for the green flag.
I do like the low, extreme low line late in the run, though, so we'll have to look for that. Of course, with these looser setups, Michael Scott gets a bad start, kind of falls back. Don't know what happened there. He went way down low.
And as Mark let him off, he continues to lead, and Ken right behind him, and Sean in 22 car there in the 5 battling it out now for 3rd position. Who do you like in this race, Milty?
Yeah, we didn't get enough time to pick anybody.
Yeah, it's still early enough. You can make a pick without.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 5 of Sean Johnson. They were watching him coming from the back a couple times in that crazy FSB Speedway race Sunday night. good night to decide to run a short track. I was pouring sweat, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of contact, a lot of close racing. And I got loose in front of him a little bit, and that's all it took. He was so much faster, got into me, and of course apologized, but it's basically one of those races, and he's clean as they come, and he's on a roll now, man. So I'll go with the 5.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the 6 car. He looked good in practice. I was watching him. He was one of the first cars in start laying laps down at the track, and looked like he got a good handle on it.
He's always got a good handle on these tracks. Back when I used to race him at FSB Racing, he was always the man to beat.
Yeah, and there we see a pretty good battle there between 98 of drawing a blank. Milty, help me out. And
that's
Matt
Sam
Watkins,
Young, my teammate. Sam Young in the 98.
Sam Young, my man.
He had a good run going, and he was moving to the front on that FSB Raceway. And he runs that series Sunday night, short tracking, and got loose, and I got in the back of him, man. So it was like every car out there was just beat the crap, and everybody just kept going, and it was a lot of fun. You got to take it for what it is. This is a little more kind of racing where you can race, and you probably shouldn't get into somebody, but that kind of racing was it was insanity, man. But sometimes you got to do something that's a little crazy.
Yeah, it was a pretty fun race overall. 200 laps. It seemed to go like in a blink of an eye.
Bam, yeah.
But back to reality here at Cali, Milt.
Well, all the girls in California have flowers in their hair. That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say. I don't know about if they say that in Fontana, where lovely California Speedway is located. But Rick Johnson has something to say as he gets by Kay Lou.
Well, you're going to have to wonder. Kevin Lewis, has been a long time since we've seen him in the Pro Cup Series in one of these tracks. You got to figure he's going to feel this out. Oh, Kenny gets loose in front of Scott Tracy. Kenny running up there in 9th place, going for it. These are one of his better tracks, is the speedways,
Yeah, and Kenny was another early comer here to the track, so he's, put down 30, 40 practice laps, which always helps.
That's what you got to do, practice makes perfect, and no practice is not good. Got Scott Tracy looking down low, running a couple different lines there, but like you said, and you can see the inside line, really when they come out of the corner, they lose momentum and grip.
Yeah, and grip's going to be a big issue here. The guys that manage their tires...
Oh, that's a gaggle right there, man.
Yeah, it is. The guys that manage their tires will have the benefit of the full fuel run. The guys that abuse the tires will not get the benefit of the full fuel run. They'll have to come in for tires before fuel.
You have to get the 51 car file there, it looks like, because
yeah, I don't know what's wrong. I thought I have it in there, but it's not showing up. I might have to reinstall it or something. So
he's
sorry, Dave.
By Budweiser. He scrapes. Dave January scrapes the
a little bump there. Little kiss off this. Little kiss off the California wall.
And you see these guys running a couple different lines to. January's running the line. I start to run right about once the tires. I like that low line, even though as long as you can stay in line, after a while you start to save some tires. That okay, that him a little bit high there, but he's got to keep momentum up. And here comes Matt Watkins.
Yeah, Matt got a great run there off of the corner. And that's what it takes here. You get a great run off the corner, you can draft down the straightaway off someone and really almost slingshot down and take that low line around him, as Matt is doing, and Sam helping him out a little there. But now we're looking at almost a 3 wide there with Sam thinking about the middle for just a second there.
Drafting is is a part of this baby here.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the old This is the original California track, Milty. So it is a little different than today's track. This was a very fast track, and it was very abrasive when they first laid it down. And after like the first race, it became a grinder, just like this race is.
Yeah, and these tires are getting ate up, and when you look more towards the front, then you're starting to see single file here. But we got the 5 taking a look at the 303. That's how you get it done right there. Once you force them to that outside, they got, well, and he's still, whoa. A lot of it depends, too, on where the other guy goes, and they both got slowed up, and Ryan Tracy is going to capitalize on that. And he's another stud on these tracks. He had to take a little tighter entry in there, but he got off the gas just the right time, got down low, and Ken Ron gets into the wall.
Yeah, Ken Ron with the little wall bump there, and that lets Sean get away from him, and Rick Johnson gets by Ken, and also Kevin Lewis. So
we're looking at lap 20 on pit stops too. Let's talk about pit stops a little bit.
Yeah, well,
they're
the guys,
speed, dude.
I think the guys that can manage their tires can go beyond that 20 lapper.
Maybe as far as 25, yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see. These guys are running hard right now, Milty. I would say not a lot of tire saving going around these guys. K-Lou usually is a pretty good tire manager, but this Speedway will test his skills for sure. As we see Troy get on the inside of Ken Ron. And that hit against the wall could be affecting him slightly here, Milty. You really need a clean car here in California to be fast.
Rick Johnson, fastest lap so far. And Kevin Lewis is right there behind him. So, you know, what else could you imagine when you see the 81 on the track? It's short track, road racing, ovals, FSB, iRacing, R-Factor, all the stuff he's done. He's always world class.
There we see 52 of Rick Johnson gets on the inside of Tracy and puts him back a position. And that's the third position taken by Rick Johnson. Nice move there. K-Lou looking to do the same.
After, 2 or 3 bad finishes by Rick Johnson's standards, and then having to run a road course and actually really good at, but he don't like them, and that race was, the competition was intense. I ran that race and, was lucky to get, a top 5, and but then he's got back on a roll now and starting to put together good finishes with Bochum not being able to make this race. I know he'd rather have him out there racing, but this is
big opportunity.
Big opportunity, and he's the kind of driver that can capitalize it and live in the moment. Not get too excited, but. Got to put together here, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, and T-Roy looking pretty stout so far at the beginning of this race, right on the back bumper of K-Lou.
Well, this is FSB and it's Pro Cup, and even I just get humbled all the time when I like running Sunday night. Was going to run as good as I was going to run, but the battle for 10th, 15th, 20th. This is over 20 car field tonight. And,
absolutely, yeah.
Every one of these guys
gonna have to earn your position. 5, Absolutely, and the second pack is now led by Matt Watkins as they try to catch that lead pack, which Ken Ron is running on the caboose right now, and some fast guys in the second pack. Milty, you think they're going to be able to catch these guys?
Well, it's different than like Daytona, Talladega, where that draft is so prevalent that if you have this type of gap, you're screwed, unless you get a caution. But these guys, so much can happen on pit road entry, mile-an-hour pit road speed, but the entry is incredibly fast, and the banking there, and then you're going to see the men from the boys because the guys this is a place where you can really challenge. I saw the great Damien Gottstilla and Matt Watkins will test
Dave
that.
Jandry getting loose there.
Just destroy, run to like 10th place and just destroy everybody. In the one pit stop, it was over. Now the competition level here is much higher, and so you're going to have to see the comers and goers on that one.
And as we look toward the rear of the field there with 151 and the 88 of Joe Cutt, battling it out side by side. You got a race for every position here at FSB, Milty.
Mark DeCenza, though, is really on rails here, but guys are really close, and these last few laps here before the pit stop, really gonna. These guys have to also. They got to manage their fuel. They got to look at windows. They use their F buttons to. If you're new to NASCAR 2003, you got to use your keyboard or have buttons set on your steering wheel to look at the different things you have, tire wear, and how much fuel you have left. You have to know how far you can go. There's a lot of strategy here, whether these guys are going to push the limit, run out of gas, or pit early, or...
Well, we see they've hit lap 20, Milty, and Mark DeCenza continues to lead. He's led every lap so far, but the 5 of Sean Johnson now has really clawed back right into his kitchen. He did have a little, over a 1 second lead, and now that's all dried up, and Rick Johnson right there as well. So lap times are evening out a little, and tire wear is coming into play right now. Maybe Mark ran that car hard as he had the lead, and these guys were able to catch back up with them being a little gentler.
Well, one of the most proudest victories I've ever had was against the great Damien Gottstilla at this very track. And the reason why was because I was that guy in second. And being out front at this track, sometimes you can just use a little more stuff. And, maybe lost 100 races to him and won 1 or 2. And that was one of them. So... it's easier to pace yourself. We got the 151 pitting, 6 is pitting. Back on that later, but we got the
the guys in the rear. If you're in the back there and losing time to the leaders, you might as well go in and get your tires now. I mean, there's no sense in staying out and driving slower and slower. Get the tires and move on.
Coming into the pits.
Yes, the 6 car is coming in,
100
and looks like everyone else did not. And he locks the brakes up as he goes through the line.
Oh boy, I don't know if he got it.
He was aggressive there. Let's see if and if you notice, Milty, no one else, as we see now, Den coming in toward the rear of the field. No one else went with him, Milty. Is that going to affect him?
Well, if we stay green. If they can go 25, that's just simple math.
We're gonna go back to the leaders here, and we see the 5 now of Sean Johnson is taking the lead, and 52 of Rick Johnson second, Kevin Lewis now third, and they're running real close together, and no sign of coming into the pits in that lap at all.
98 is pitting, Kevin Lewis is pitting, Scanner is starting to buzz here.
Yeah, so
6 gets a nice pit stop, nice and clean 4 tires for the Boca Motorsports number 6.
So Mark elects to go in on lap 21 a little earlier than the rest of the guys who are now on lap 24, Milty.
The draft is important, but that last lap, it all depends on how all those cars get in together,
And we see
Let's see how they do it.
81 is in pit lane, as is a couple other guys. We'll follow Kay Lou down, and
52 went an extra lap.
Yeah, 52 and the 5 have both stayed out for one more lap, I suppose. And
Walk in, see 50. The 52 knows he's got the 5 with him, so he still has some draft buddies. Draft does make a little bit of difference. So
yeah, it sure does. And there we see the 81 of Kevin Lewis in the
51.
pits. He getting his service, 4 tires, getting fuel, and away he goes. And now we'll follow Kevin and see where he rejoins the fray here, as we see the 98 of Sam Young also getting his service done. He's right behind Kevin.
The 98's just exiting pits. I don't know if he had a penalty, because he 22 was pitted. He went. I don't know if he went 25 or not. They're just crossing 25. There's cars pitting now. 303, the 53. These guys have made it 25 laps. Steve Weber, Pops Marguson. He's carrying the flag for FTR.
And there we see the 5 of Sean Johnson down on the apron.
I'd like to welcome back Bill Yarbrough, too, after a little bit of time off. And great to see him back. And he's in the 54 car, back with FTR. That's bitching.
Yeah, and there we see as the 5 of Sean Johnson joins the field again, Milty, that he has lost some spots there. As we look at the running order, the 22 still out front, now the 46. These are cars who have not pitted yet. The 53, the 303, and the 99 have not pitted yet.
27 laps.
Yeah, they squeeze those tires.
The 53 TG is pitting. 303 Ken Ron. 83 is just exiting.
Yeah, some guys still getting their service done. They stretched this first pit stop up. I don't know if that's going to help them. I think that's to their detriment because of their lap times, personally. But we'll see what happens. As this stays green, it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. But once this recycles...
that can make it.
Once this recycles,
more stops.
Milty, we're going to see that the 6 of Mark DeSenza will be will reassume his lead, but the 81 of Kevin Lewis has made a win out of these initial pit stops, because he's second now. As we scroll through the field, you can see your favorite driver. And there's the 6 of Mark DeSenza back in front. And the 98 of Sam Young in second.
Well, we saw the comers and goers. We talked about how important those pit stops were and green flag stops, and seeing the cream rise to the top there.
Something happened to Kevin Lewis, Milty. He's blowed up.
You got to be kidding me. He blew up in the
81 car is smoking.
He blew up Monday night in the Sportsman Cup race.
Wow.
Oh, my God. That's going to tee him off, I guess.
And, Milty, it appears we're staying green as well.
Well, NASCAR has chose not to... Hope there's no oil or there's nothing on the track there.
He must have been able to keep any debris off the track there. But what a terrible break for Kevin Lewis, who, after those first set of pit stops, really came out on top of the exchanges, going from about 4th to 2nd, but then blowed up.
Well, when it happens to you once,
and the pace car is out, Milty, so caution is out on the track.
Trail there.
Yeah, so let's go back and see what happened, if he had any contact, or if he just blew up straight up. Here we go back to lap 28 here, as we see he's looking good. He's up to 3rd place here during these green flag pit stops.
Oh, when it blows up,
And we
he's
see,
got no control on it. I'm watching it. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, and we see Sam is behind him here at this
it gets
point.
oil on the tires there. Look how it just front end just go bam. And he's up against the wall, trying to keep it off the wall. Of course, that's pro driver like
Oh
all these
yeah,
guys.
it almost looked like he maybe mistakenly downshifted or something, Milt.
No,
Looked like it downshifted and blew
it sure
up,
looked like it, huh?
but maybe that was just the engine letting go as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again. I want to see. I'm gonna look at the gear selections, but of course those things aren't quite accurate. But it'll show you if they downshift. I'm looking at now. He's in fourth gear, and it never changes down to third
Actually,
gear.
Milty, it goes from fourth to neutral briefly. If you slow it down.
Really? Well, that could be it blowing up. Okay, you're showing it again there. In that on my
There we
replay,
see
but-
he's in neutral right there for a brief moment.
Wow.
As we froze it on the individual frame.
I'm gonna go down
And you
there
can see he went about 4 or 5 frames in neutral and then put it back into fourth, and as he did that, the engine let go, Milty.
Let me see if I can get a word with him. I'll be right back.
Wow, bad break for Kevin Lewis. Don't know if maybe he bumped the gear shifter or a possible mechanical failure, which sometimes happens here in these in our 2003 game. You can have a mechanical failure. Let's quickly recap what happened here. That was a wild exchange of pit stops, all under the green flag. And as they got back to sorting themselves out, Kevin Lewis' motor let go and brought out the caution. But the 6 of Mark DeSenza, who's had the best car at the beginning of this race so far, is your leader here at lap 32. 98 of Sam Young was showing in second, now showing back into fifth, with TG assuming the lead. So things shaking up here as Kevin Lewis's motor letting go brought out the caution and scrambled things up. We see that the 53 TG Reese is in the lead.
Talk to. We also had the 83 blew up too. But you're absolutely right, Greg. Caught that on the nose. Kevin Lewis with a new wheel that he's only, of course, he's won a lot of races with it, but he's still. This happened before, to me too. He had his finger just laying on the button that he has for third gear, and it found third gear.
Yeah, that's a bad.
That's just shit, man.
Yeah, that's a terrible break for K-Lou, and yeah, that's part of sim racing, Milty. Getting to know your equipment.
Well, a guy that just is a winner, but of course he's good dude. Long, he's laughing about it.
Those things happen, yeah.
Get him next week.
Yeah, and
the 83 Steve Weber blew up under caution.
Yeah, and
he didn't do anything wrong,
And as TG peels in for his service, he stayed out and led a couple laps. Got picked up a bonus point there. The 6 of Mark DeSenza reassumes the lead with the 5 of the 5 of Sean Johnson, and the 15 of Matt Watkins now all the way up to third. And so Matt, who won the nationwide race a little earlier tonight, Milty, he's in third. He's looking good. He's clean, and I think the 5 and the 6 are going to have a miracle of 15 in a second.
Well, the other day I was off of work after a long-ass day, and I was slept in. I was tired and burned out, and started watching, because I know Matt's favorite movie probably is Back to the Future, He loves that DeLorean, and he reminds me of Marty, because he's Marty's tough, stand up to anybody. Little guy, but Matt could probably play that role, because man, he's a tiger, man. He's a good looking kid too.
I'll take your word for it, Milty. That's a
Well,
that's a little too much driver information, Milty.
Yeah, well, come on now.
This is a family show, Milty. We're here to talk racing and watch a good race here at the Cali Speedway. Pace car is off. Mark will lead it down, and we take the green flag at lap 35.
Well, this changes the pit window, so.
Yeah, so restart at lap 35 for these guys. Add about 20 to that, we get to 55, 56, 55 to 60, let's say, is a window.
But then you got the two FSB teammates there together, 98 and the 52. They've kind of got to the same point in different ways, but Sam's really on a roll, man. Once he gets in a zone, on a track, you better look out because he's going to the front and he knows how to stay there.
But
as the 52 takes a look,
looks like the 52 wants to go to the front here. Nice pass by Rick Johnson. Made it look easy, but that's not an easy pass.
Well, that was easy because they're on the same team channel together talking right now. So I'm pretty sure they decided that that was, that's part of team racing. I don't feel comfortable right here. And the other guys and Rick might be saying, I'm going to try to move the front. Okay. And let's do this as cleanly as possible. That's how teammates work.
Absolutely. And that's part of how you win races too, is with your teammates and your friends. And the 5 of Sean Johnson and 15 of Matt Watkins trying to swap positions. Matt just took it from Sean. Now Sean looking to take it back from Matt. And Mark says, keep battling, boys, and I'll just keep leading.
Yeah, I don't think Matt wants to get into a fight right now. But
I don't think
I don't think any of them do. They're really just these are pro drivers. We got smoke and tire smoke and big black marks coming out too there.
Yeah, it looks like we're staying green though, so no harm, no foul apparently.
Looks like Kenny is just getting going. 73 is entering pit road. There goes Kenny Paul.
Yeah, might have had a lock. Might got a little loose there, locked it up, and got to come back in now with those tires. Tires are really sensitive here. If you lock it up here, you could turn your tires yellow instantly.
Okay, well,
we're staying green.
Something happened to him here. Okay, Kenny was he had TG Reese, 53 behind him, and Kenny started to get loose and overcorrected and slammed the wall. TG was just exiting the corner, had nowhere to go, and it was a hard lick there. So that's going to affect the 53 also.
Yeah, it's a bad break for both of them. They were running toward the back there, so we'll see if they can stick with it and maybe pick up some positions if other guys fall out. But we have a change for the lead here as the 15 of Matt Watkins continues his march to the front and now completes it with the very nice pass of the 6 car. And look like we're going 3 wide behind him here, Milty.
We got more smoke. Oh, wait, no, I'm not live here. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, the 5, the 52, the 98, and the 22 all lumped together there. And they almost all came together. And as they continue to fight for position here, they're not content to stay in line. And Milty, after the last few weeks for Matt Watkins here in the Pro Cup, which have been a battle for him, he's really had a battle on his hands with Robert and Mark and Rick Johnson and Tracy and all the likes of them. I think he wants to put a statement on a race where everyone says, "Damn, Matt, we forgot about you. We didn't forget today." And I think he wants to lead. I think he wants to lead the most laps, and I think he wants to win this race. And I think he's looking to make a statement.
You're absolutely right. You're obviously getting to know this guy. That's around, man, and that's part of what makes a driver fast is your intensity level, and your focus, and he's
like we got
down.
The caution
we
out
got
here
the
too.
Caution out here. You gotta bring it, man, and
looks like the 69 is off the pace there, Milty.
Okay, yeah, I'm watching the replay. Oh, Pops gets loose right in front of him. Holy cow. It looked like Pops' rear end just locked up.
Oh, yeah.
It snapped loose. And that's part of with these setups. Once you lose your
that's a bad break for Doug there.
The Pops there, he lost his angle. And then once the car starts coming around at 200 miles, he got loose, and Doug had nowhere to go.
And as we quickly go back live, Milty, we got pit stops happening. There's a 15 of Matt Watkins, and there we see Doug limp in the pit road after having some contact there with Pops and the outside wall as well. And there's Matt going away, and let's see if Matt leads him off. He didn't qualify, Milty, so he started deep in the pack, and that affects pit lane selection. And it looks like the 6 car beat him off of pit lane with the number 1 pit stall.
Yeah, especially at this track. Of course, most every track, at first stall, it means just about a half a foot, and that's all you need.
Absolutely is, and I think that might be something to watch here on the caution stops. That when they all come in fairly even, the advantage goes to the 6 car in that case, Milty.
Yep. I'm going to take a pit stop here, sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers.
And as they regroup here on this caution here with Pops and Doug getting into a little... it looked like Pops got loose, locked the brakes up to try to correct, to keep the car from going around, and Doug had nowhere to go on the slower speed, got into the back of Pops. And then also, with the contact, came around himself and had some contact with the front end to the outside wall. Hopefully he can get that fixed and keep on trucking. But, bad break for Doug there with really nowhere to go. And as we can see, as they complete lap 44, going on the 45 here, the 6 did beat Matt Watkins out of the pits. So the 6 retakes the lead, 15 in second. 5 is Sean Johnson third, and the 22 looking good. Ryan Tracy solid in fourth, and 52 Rick Johnson in fifth. Those cars have been at the lead since the green flag flown to start this race, and they continue to stay up there where it's where you want to be here at Cali. You don't want to be in the back of the pack here. Hard to gain time on the leaders as you battle halfway down the track. And right behind him there, a good comeback for the 151 of Guy Petra. And he's in 6th there, and the 98 of Sam Young in 7th. And Sam was up there, and he kind of fell back a little during that right before the caution came out. So we'll see if Sam can gather it back in and move his way back to the front. And the 19, Troy Higgins, looking good in 8th, and the 42. The other Tracy. We got Tracy's all over the place in the top 10 here, and there's the 42. And right behind him, the 88 of Joe Cutt. We see the 42 peels off on the pit lane. So Joe Cutt will move up to the 9th position. He'll take that. It's the best way to gain positions, man, is make them up while other guys are pitting, and you can stay out. And we see the 42 getting down to his pit stall. And we'll see if he's just topping up there. And, yeah, he's just a little splash and go, it looks like there. And then we see the 46 of Michael Scott, I believe. He's getting some service, 4 tires, and away he goes under this caution as we're working lap 45. Pace car lights are out, so we're about to go back to green flag racing here with the 6 car leading them down.
Well, I still think you gotta drive pretty hard here. You're gonna see the pace. Pace has been tremendous. So, but then you had the cars that went 25, 26 laps. So you're in the back. You're in the top 5, even the top 10. I think you gotta, or anywhere close to that, and you gotta go.
And the other fly in the ointment here for these guys as they restart this on lap 46, Milty, is they will most likely not be able to make it on just one more stop if it stays green. We're looking at 2 stops or a splash and go possibly.
Yeah, we've had a lot of caution-free Pro Cup races. We haven't really seen that this year, but I think the competition is also more intense, and but these guys are capable to go caution-free from here on out.
Absolutely, they are, and there we see the 6 car lead them off with the 15 following behind, and the 5 and the 22 already ready to battle it out here as they get onto the backstretch.
Well, it's the Boca Motorsports number 6, Mark DeCenza, has just been the fixture of the front. But there's a new sheriff in town now, and he's in the number 15. And
yeah, and we can see the stalking has begun as Matt Watkins pulls right up on the back bumper of the 6 car, lets him know he's there. Looks like he eased off just a tick. Yeah,
they know each other inside and out. Of course, they've shared all the wealth of their information, which is what teams do: is gather information over the years and share it to their teammates. And they definitely know what they want to try to do to each other.
Yeah, and this is a case here where Mark is gonna. I mean, if Mark wants to continue to lead this race, he's gonna have to run much harder than he would like to, and that's fine by Matt Watkins because that's what he's probably hoping Mark does. And if you're the 5 or the guys right behind, and you can see there's a gaggle of cars behind these two as they continue to battle, they're keeping other guys in tight with them. These guys can kind of just sit back and watch this and save their equipment a little here.
If you want,
and the 5 car goes around and takes the
spins, but he doesn't have contact. Can he get it going there? If he doesn't get hit, I don't think the 5 got hit. And the 5 disconnects. Gone.
And
he got loose on his own there.
Yeah, it looked like he got loose there, and the 52 spun with him to either avoid him or got tapped. We'll have to take a look and see what happened.
22 didn't touch him there, so.
But I think Rick avoided any major damage, and 4 freshies, and he'll be fine.
I mean, this year for Rick Johnson, how many times have we seen him do the? My dad used to say it's like throwing a baseball. If you throw it sidearm, if you throw it right in the middle, And that's kind of what it's like at 200 miles an hour, hitting the brakes. If you hit the brakes just right, you can keep the car going and let off them. Rick Johnson is just, of course, you got to be lucky too. He's managed to survive a lot of
with
stuff.
just a few laps on these tires, Milty, the whole field coming down pit lane. And again, Matt Watkins is going to have to deal with a poor pit stall. And again, we'll see if the 6 car can retake the lead, as Matt Watkins took it right as those spins were going on. Matt was able to get past Mark DeCenza there.
FSB Pro Cup, baby. Pit stops. This stuff ain't easy, folks.
Never see the...
As we see the ticker going by there. That's really cool.
And there we see the final tires going on for Mark DeCenza. There we see Matt Watkins coming down. But this time Matt Watkins with a masterful pit stop, and he'll keep the lead this time, Milty.
Well, Rick Johnson's going to go to the, he's staying out right now, but he's going to go to the tail end of the lead lap. But he's going to have to get
Milty,
tired.
and let's quickly take a look back on that incident. And as we see here, the 5 of Sean Johnson and 22 of Ryan Tracy and the 15 of Matt Watkins all nose to tail there. And the 98 and the 52 are all in the mix here.
A lot of cars.
Yeah, just a
serious bullet here.
Real serious battle going on. And
22 could have took the air off the 5 there.
Yeah, it looked like that could have been what happened there, and hard impact for Sean Johnson.
Did hit the wall, though.
Hard impact.
Sam Young, I think Sam Young did. I have to watch it again there. I'm watching it on the feed now. Sam got the wall hard, so he got affected with that, too. It's tough luck for the 98. I mean, this guy, I've raced. He's my teammate. I've raced against him.
Just a little glancing blow, actually, Milty. I think he'll be okay. Just a glancing blow for Sam there.
Yeah, I hope so. Not much you can do at that speed. 170 coming right through there.
And at the same time that was going on, Milty, what we didn't see as we followed that wreck was the pass of Matt Watkins on Mark DeCenza as the caution came out. The FSB rules, Milty, you can race to the line. And there we see Matt Watkins dive down and nip Mark DeCenza at the line as the caution came out. So don't say that these guys don't race until they can't anymore. That was right to the final line on the caution.
That is intensity personified, man.
And we go back live. We see Matt is in the lead. Lights are still on the pace car, so we'll do at least another lap. So good time to recap the field here, Milty. 15 of Matt Watkins is in the lead. 6 of Mark DeCenza. Those two have been at it tooth and nail for the last 15-20 laps or so. The 88 of Joe Cutt now up in the third, Milty.
Oh, that's been no surprise. We watched him creep to the top 5.
Yeah, with some incidents to the guys that were racing in that last incident, that's allowed some new guys to join in the fun here, Milt. And that's the 88 of Joe Cutt, 151 of Guy Petra now in 4th, 303 of Ken Ron now up into the top 5 in 5th. And the 19 of Troy Higgins slowly climbing into the top 10, and now he's knocking on the top 5. He's sitting in 6th, and there's the other Roy, T-Roy, as they call him, in the 17 car. He's looking to, he was a little racy early in the race, and then kind of faded away here in the middle part, but let's see what he can do. And the 51, 16 into 99, round out the top 10. A lot of newcomers to the top 10, Milty.
Well, I've been talking to Dan about. I wanted to see. I hadn't seen the video of him actually racing, and so he private messaged me in the FSB forum this week, and I watched the video, and I was just in absolute awe. I mean, the only way you can appreciate this is see this video, but to watch him drive with the back of his hands on the keyboard, see the screen there, you see him racing, and it's absolutely unbelievable. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just, and he's in the top 10 here in the FSB Pro Cup. That's
he's an amazing guy.
Go to Scony.com and the videos are there. You can see him painting, and but when you see him sim racing, it absolutely blow your mind, man.
Yeah, he's just a really unassuming guy too. He's real down to earth, and he's a real good man.
He wouldn't even send it to me, but I asked him for it. I want to see that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
well, let's get back to the track here.
Back to the real business at hand here. The 15 and the 6 continue their battle as Mark had a really strong restart there. Got right up onto the back bumper of Matt Watkins. As we know, Milty, FSB rules, no passing till the backstretch. So getting into 1 and 2, you got to hold your position. But Mark let Matt know, yeah, I'm right behind you, buddy.
Well, and really, the reality of making a good pass at California or pretty much any of these tracks is even in the turn 1, even if it was legal, it's one of the reasons why we have it like that. Is the best way to set up the pass is coming out of on any of these cookie cutters,
And Mark continues to ride the back bumper of Matt Watkins, 88 and the 151, getting a little racy right behind him. And we see Guy Petra taking a look on the inside.
This is a fine run for Guy. He's looking to rebound. He's creeped into the top 5, top 10 a couple times, but hasn't been able to finish the deal,
And this is a great opportunity with some guys, with Robert Bokum out of the race, missing it, and a couple other guys leaving the race early. This is a good opportunity to see what you can do and grab some big points here. Remember, this is a Pro Cup, Milty. Top 10 get into a chase, and what? Whoa, and there goes Guy.
There goes Guy.
He saved it. Saved it, Milty.
Nice save.
You got me all excited. I hit the wrong button there, but
we got smoke. Somebody lit him up coming, and that was Troy Higgins.
Wow, and look at the jumble of cars here, Milty. The 17, the 303, the 22, and the 51. Throw a blanket over them.
Yeah, and the fastest laps of the race just keep getting faster.
Whoa, and there's
now it's Sam Young, and he gets sideways on the straightaway, gets in the den.
Yeah, there's some tight racing going on here.
Now Dan's out to the outside there. He had no choice. He had to keep it outside because he saw the cars coming.
And Sam had to lock him up there as the car almost came around on him, Milty. And he's going to lose a couple positions there chasing the car.
As you see the fastest laps increase, here comes, now before they look like they're going fast, but they really weren't pushing it. Now it's past the halfway point. It's time to get to going.
And the 15 and 6 continue to run nose to tail, and they've broken away slightly here from the third place ride of Joe Cutt. As Mark takes a look on the inside, Mark does not like running second here. He's had probably the best car of anyone so far, and until Matt Watkins came along and showing him the way now. But we'll see.
that just shows you the early leader always seems to. It's hard to lead from flag to flag at California. It just doesn't. Oh, and Guy Pitcher gets into the 22. Hard lick for Ryan Tracy. And he keeps going, but that was a hard lick.
And we can see Ryan moving to the back. He keeps running though, and we stay green, Milty. These guys, man, some of these you would think there's no way they could save them, but they do. They're some good drivers.
And it's also, the pro mentality, the FSB mentality of, because these guys don't get mad, they don't get upset, they just focus on keep the car on the track. Stuff happened, and we live in the moment. And how about the 52 does the 360 and avoids trouble, and
yeah, now look where he is.
Back to 6th place.
Yeah, and as we see the 303 taking a look down low on the 88 of Joe Cutt for 3rd place. But that move, if it doesn't pan out sometimes, Milty, it could come back and cost you a position as well.
Well, we've seen 4-time just hang around 5th place.
There we see the 17 as his Ken could not make the move. Oh, and they almost touched doors there if they didn't. Woo, that's some tight racing there by T-Roy and Ken Ron.
That's the FSB, the new INI file that you get to race at FSB Racing.
Woo!
It's an upgrade of the contact model that.
And there we
run out the box.
And there we see Rick Johnson giving that INI file a test out there, as he almost looked like he got into the back bumper of T-Roy. But they were real close, and Rick is looking to take that position away from Ken as well, as Ken gets trapped to the outside here.
Well, now you can race in the framework of your car. It's where your are, and actually not hit somebody until you actually hit them.
Yeah,
that makes a much closer racing.
Yeah, plus the confidence it gives you, knowing that if you're not touching someone, you're not going to be touching them. And as before, you felt like sometimes you didn't know if you're going to make contact or not, so you were a little dicey as you got closer to people. Now you can get right up on their bumper and you'll be good. But the 6 car looking to test out the INI file now too.
Guys are just putting on a show, man.
Yeah, Mark is real fast, and I think he really wants to get around Matt Watkins here, but just doesn't want to take that move to cost him, because look who's right behind him. 88 of Joe Cutt is still there, and 52 and 17 are door to door.
Yeah.
Rick Johnson.
Side by side.
How about that comeback for Rick Johnson in just about 10 or 15 laps? He went from last to first there.
Yeah,
or to the top pack.
17 is one of those guys that'll ride that high line. He'll fight you to the end. So, I mean, this is 2 laps of these guys going at it, and Rick still can't make the pass.
Yeah, it's tough to pass here at Cali. Rick finally gets the pass done. And you can see the time lost between him now and Joe Cutt as that battle waged.
The 17's like a brick wall, man. You gotta bust through him to get by him, man. He fights, man.
Looks like everyone else is now settled in and gotten in line. All the way back to the 98 of Sam Young. They're all nose to tail, and there's Den and the 22 had that contact with who was that contact with there, Mildy? With Guy Petra, and he might have some damage and might be suffering the consequences now of that damage. And
well, now we're looking at a pit window where you don't have to go all the way to the end of your fuel run.
Yeah,
So
Milty, we're looking at about probably lap 70 for these guys, maybe a few laps beyond it. But I don't think they can get to lap 75 or something like that to get into that final window. But we'll see as Watkins and DeSenza continue to lead the pack around and showing no signs of pitting by any means. And the laps are ticking off here as the green flag continues to fly. As you see, they're on lap 67 of 100. And I would think there's got to be stops within the next 5 to 6 laps, Milty.
well, I talked about what it was like to lead and to be able to finish the deal. You saw Matt Watkins move up to the front, and then guess what? Now the 6 is coming. He's able to pace himself with the 15 and use his draft and try to conserve a little bit, and it's a lot easier when you have somebody to pace you than when you have to set the pace.
Oh, absolutely. And a little more conservative on your equipment sometimes, as you can get off the gas a little sooner and keep your momentum. Where Matt is not going to have that luxury of doing that. And there we see the 88 and the 52 are closed in on this lead, the leaders here, Milty, and trying to make it a 4-car tango here. How about Joe Cutt, Milty? This is a great run for Joe Cutt.
Well, it's not surprising. We're watching what he's done all season, and that's steadily moved to the front as we got some serious racing here with. Look, 303 got real close to the wall, and he got freight trained by the 98 and the 151.
Yeah, and these guys were toward the front. They've had some issues. They've slid back, but that doesn't stop the racing, Milty.
Yeah, Den kind of fell off the pace there. Well, of course, we saw him get caught on the outside, and that's.
But as you can see, Milty, as these guys battled, Den closed right back in on them there.
Yeah, well, that's the mentality you have to have in California because the draft is important, but also tire wear and just running consistent laps, because eventually cars get together and they start to battle, just like you said. When they battle and they go too wide, then they slow way down. You get right back in the mix.
Absolutely.
Passing the 17.
Yeah, then there's the 51. The
Chevrolet.
Yeah, Dave Jandry and 42 of
he's trying to break
Scott
the
Tracy
draft.
there.
Sorry. See him go down low there. What you try to do is break the draft a little bit and then come back up. But then again, if you break the draft too much, then the other cars stay in the draft.
Yeah, and they'll train by you again.
They'll train by you, so you can't get too tricky. It's not quite like you got to manage how the aero is in sim racing, you know.
Yeah, these four are putting on a good battle here for position, Milty. And they're battling there for the 5th, 6th, 7th positions. And, top 5 in Pro Cup is well earned. No doubt about it.
And we still don't have any pit stops. I was calculating like...
I was saying somewhere close to the 75 marker, and we hit lap 73 right now, Milty. So,
so you're... Yep.
And we'll see.
Be coming here.
Yeah, I would think that's a number that these guys are looking at. 25 laps on these tires is very doable if you aren't driving like a man possessed, which these guys have put on a fairly fast pace. So maybe you want to get to about 20 if you can stretch it.
Yeah, we saw guys go 27, 26 or 27, so it's going to be possible.
Yeah, and
Get crazy.
we continue to see Matt and Mark pace the field. Joe Cutt in third, Rick Johnson fourth, and Dave Jandry up to fifth. But look at the battle continues to rage behind them. The 17, the 98, the 42, and the 19 have just been battling side by side with someone every single lap, it seems like.
Well, Joe Cutt runs like about the same speed and strategy as I like to run because of the great skill out here. You have to know your limitations, and
the 42 and 17 really getting close there.
But he is falling back to the clutches of the 52, and they are falling almost a second behind second place.
Wow, there's some good side-by-side racing here at California, Milty. 42 to 17.
T-Roy's a California boy, and he's going to represent.
Yeah, so he's trying to use a little home track advantage as he dives down low under the 42 and trying desperately to take that position. Yeah, for lap after lap, these guys have been side-by-side. Oh, and Sam gets loose. And had to lock it up, got bounced off the wall. These guys went around him, and they continue, and we stay green.
We got pit stops. We got
now
if that Watkins,
if
the 51,
if that doesn't.
Oh, look at that! That's second contact, but.
Yeah, then as we see, Matt Watkins
get on the freeway and driving your streetcar.
Matt Watkins making Matt Watkins probably making his final pit stop here, Milty. He takes right sides. He's taking left sides as a bunch of guys are now coming into the pits. Matt Watkins looks like
they're all coming.
Yeah, Matt was probably the first of the leaders to pit. So Matt making an aggressive move here. As Mark DeSenza continued to stay out.
That gives you 25 to go, and you were thinking the same strategy as Matt.
51 to Dave Jandry completes his service. There's Sam Young, who definitely wanted to get some new tires after locking up those tires there in that little incident there. And there we see the 6 car coming in, and we'll see.
While smoking the 19 pits.
We'll see. We're going to stay with the 6 car as he completes his service here, Milty. And we're going to see where he rejoins the track compared to the 15, who's now out on the track and getting up to speed. And there we see the 6 with a clean pit stop. And there's the 88 of Joe Cutt right behind him. Great pit stop by Joe Cutt as well as they both come out together and rejoin the race. And now we'll see where the 15 of Matt. And there goes the 15 of Matt Watkins. Wow, a huge lead now for Matt Watkins.
Green flag stops, the money stop. Well, we heard him on an interview post-race earlier in the season talk about Damon Godzilla and how he had to upgrade his pit stop game. And
wow,
now Matt Watkins is pitting like Damon, and that's bad news for the Bears, Bad news for the rest of the field because.
Yeah, it is, Milty, because...
Scott Tracy hard into the wall, pitting. Way too hot and just almost GP'd the wall there, we call it.
And there we see him crawling down pit lane now, a little wounded.
That's tough luck for the 42.
Yeah, 42 was running
all night.
Yeah, he was.
Now, the question is, how much damage did he get? He did not get it fixed. He had the presence of mind. He's back out. Him and Dan Francisconi are side by side on pit road. The Sconi.com Ford right behind the Mountain Dew Dodge of Scott Tracy. They exit pit road. This is Pro Cup racing. Green flag, pit stops, pushing the limit. I mean, you want a piece of this? FSB.com. Get some.
Yeah, and we hit the 20 to go marker, and Matt Watkins with the pit stop of the season right now. Jumped from basically a tenth of a second lead with Mark DeCenza right on his bumper to a whopping 4 seconds lead. What a pit stop by Matt Watkins.
Look, man, we broke this stuff down as a team, FSB. We've looked at replays. You know, we watched this stuff, and, you know, you can see how it's done, but you got to execute. And Matt Watkins is the man. So now what the rest of these guys do?
Looks like
they are in the draft a little bit.
Yeah, Milty, and it looks like something might have happened there to the 52 of Rick Johnson, who has fallen all the way back to 13th place. He's been in basically the top 5, and he was coming onto those top 3 right before those pit stops happened, and now he's back way back in 13th, Milty.
Well, when you got to put a whole Pro Cup race together to win at this level, just tremendous. And all it takes is one mistake. Going back, watching, replaying this, trying to find out what happened to him.
Yeah, and as we see the lead that Matt Watkins has opened up here, Milty, as you go back and see what befell Rick there, you can see it's a huge lead. You can barely see the other cars just coming onto the screen as they take this real wide shot here, California Speedway. And Matt really in cruise control here, as he can afford to give up some lap time for tire savings, where Mark DeCenza is going to have to drive the wheels off the car now to catch him.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing nothing yet here. Now we're going back to where he's...
Yeah, looks like Milty's mic is acting up a little there. But Mark desperately trying to close the gap there on Matt Watkins. And as you can see there in the running order and on the ticker, running below, he has closed the gap from a little over 4 seconds to down to now 2.3 seconds. But he's driving that car hard and really probably using up those tires, which with 15 laps to go, let's see if he has the equipment left to have a say in it. And Joe Cutt continues.
He's got Cutt behind him there to help draft, which could help a little bit, but
yeah, it shouldn't hurt. They should be able to run, 2 to 3 tenths faster than Matt Watkins in a draft. But you can see Joe Cutt not as close as you'd like him to be for drafting purposes. And you see the fourth place car there, Dave Jandry. It's a little too far back of those guys as well to really make an impact. But now we see Joe Cutt has closed the gap now. And we'll see if they can continue to make headway on Matt Watkins, Milty. And we see the lead down to 1.2 seconds.
Stick together, or is Joe just going to try to get by him, or it depends on if the 6 is fading or not,
And there we see the 88 of Joe Cutt trying to help out the 6 car and help himself to get up to Matt Watkins. Did Matt go out a little too far too soon? He pitted early, so he'll have the most wear on those tires compared to Mark and Joe Cutt, Milty.
Yeah, your draft begins at 1.5 seconds. So you look at the interval at 0.81 last lap.
Oh, Mark's definitely has caught him now, Milty. And you can see he really pulled up on him in this lap as the draft really kicks into full effect there right at the end of the straightaways.
Hard to say if Matt went out too soon because, like I said earlier, leading is sometimes a double-edged sword here in California because of what the I don't know why, or it just kind of works that way. But they still got to finish the deal here, so let's see. That could have
Yeah.
been sandbagging a little bit. 12 to go.
Yeah, and as we get to lap 90 here, as we approach lap 90, and we see the rest of the running order here with Rick Johnson bringing up the rear of the field now.
That's not what he wanted to do, and this was a opportunity for him. But
yeah, he's up to 12th now. He has moved up one position, but I'm sure he's not. That's not where he expects to run, and not where I thought he'd be running. It looked like he was moving back up to the front, but something must have happened with him. But Mark has closed here on Matt Watkins, and he's going to make it interesting in these last 10 laps, Milty. You see Joe Cutt third, Dave Jandry fourth, and Sam Young now up to fifth. So Sam has come back a little here, and he's trying to get up there with the top four.
Well, they're not breaking fast this lap right here, but what they've done is kept the fastest pace. So now we got to see what they got left.
And there we see Joe Cutt catching the top two here with this draft, Milty, as you said.
4/10 of a second that lap.
Yeah, and we can see that basically the top three now have separated themselves from the 51 of Dave Jandry. And if they can continue to stay in line for a couple more laps, they may be able to pull away and make it a three-car race to decide who's going to win this thing.
Well, the two cars in front are running kind of the line I would probably run, which is a little bit lower line to save your tires a little. Joe's kind of running a higher end, which is the fastest way around on fresh tires. So you're going to have to see how that works for him. Now he's in the draft. He lost 2/10 that lap.
Yeah, you can see he's dropped off the pace slightly there, Milty, as Watkins and DeSenza set a withering
and they're
pace.
running the lower lap, like line, excuse me,
yeah,
I was talking about. So,
and it's not like they're going slow either right now. They're really pushing it to the limit right now, and it's hard to keep up with these guys. They're some of the fastest drivers in the league right now.
Yeah, last lap 39.056 for Watkins. That's a half second off of his best lap. That's pretty good with worn tires.
Yeah, and also as you see the 99 of Pops Marguson looking to go a lap down here, and Matt might be able to utilize Pop's car here for a little draft himself and get a little tow down the front stretch here.
Well, like in real stuff, the right stuff, LBJ said, we brought you something here to look at, and every race here, Pro Cup seems to have a great finish at the end.
And there we see the top two have now really separated themselves from Joe Cutter, who maybe just drove the car a little hard there, Milty. And if you heat these tires up to 200 plus degrees, you really pay the price. If you can keep them right around 200, you really get rewarded, and it's a fine line and very hard to manage. And when you're trying to chase down leaders, you do got to use up your equipment. And as we see, lap 95 going half down the backstretch here on lap 95, ready to complete lap 96. So if Mark's going to have anything for him, he's going to have to start thinking of something real quick here.
Yeah, it's going to be 5 to go. This really is the show here right now. It's great racing going behind, but this is for the win right here.
Yeah, and Matt continues to cover him. You can see Matt running a slightly lower line than Mark there. That's obviously he likes to guard. He wants to guard the inside line. Doesn't want Mark getting anywhere inside of him there. And
Well, yeah,
if
it's
if Mark can pass him on the outside, you got to tip your hat to the guy because that would be a very difficult thing for him to do.
well, and he's not just guarding; he's also keeping momentum. And as the tires wear out, you have to get off it earlier and let the car go down to the bottom, and then be able to get on it on the exit. It's easier to get on the gas on the exit when you got nice, fresh, happy tires. But at the end here, you got to just let it get down there and be disciplined. And you watch his line when he's coming up; he's still on the gas, and you can't do that if you drive the car in too hard and be aggressive. That's why you got to change your line a lot of times, especially at this track right here.
Yeah, absolutely. With brand new tires, you can run anywhere on this track and lay down some good laps. But as the tires wear, you're going to have to run the line that gives the tires their best grip, which is that, like you said, that high line, off a little earlier than you probably normally would, driving the car to the bottom of the track, and then slowly applying that gas and getting a good drive off each time to keep your momentum up. And that's what these two have done, and they've really pulled away now, and they're going to settle it amongst themselves. But I don't know if Mark has anything for Matt right now. Matt looking strong.
He's just on rails, and but at the same time, these tires, every lap they're driving it in that corner, and they're having to anticipate the degradation of the tire. To the viewer watching it looks like they're going about the same speed, but every lap you got to be able to anticipate a little more less grip,
Absolutely, and 2 laps to go here as they go down the backstretch. They're going to be taking the white flag here coming up. Matt continues to hold that about a half second, 3/10 or so lead over Mark DeSenza, but the gap has not closed. Mark really hasn't even made any type of run onto him, and Matt's really got him covered. Yeah, Matt's really got him covered right now, and
he's driving his wheels off there for sure. But Matt is just on rails. He's unflappable,
Yeah, Matt.
It's in the lead like this. Good luck, man.
Yeah, and he's looking good as they go down the backstretch here for the final time, and their final turns here as they go into 3 and 4. And it looks like Matt Watkins is going to take a big victory here at California, and he's going to extend that points lead with Robert Bokum missing the race. He's going to really take advantage of this with a big win, Milty.
Matt Watkins, way to go, man.
Second, Mark DeSenza. Third, Joe Cutt. Great run by Joe Cutt with the top 3, Milty. And as we look at the final running order, the 19 brought it home 4th, and Dave Jandry 5th.
Yeah.
So
great run for Higgins.
Yeah, Higgins nipping Dave Jandry by just 0.03 of a second at the line.
Jandry, solid race all night. Worked his way back into the top 5 there. The 98, with a couple whammos against the wall there, still gets 6th place.
And Rick Johnson, who we talked about earlier, Milty, who was in the top 3, 4, 5, 6 cars pretty much for the first 50, 60 laps of this race, managed to maintain and actually got back up to 11th. So it's made the best of a bad situation there, at least.
Well, that's what you got to do if you're running for a championship, Your head and...
he knows something about winning championships, too, doesn't he, Milty?
Yeah. 17, Troy Knoll, fine 7th place for him. He battled all night. Didn't make contact with anything or anyone, and that's a nice finish, Pro Cup.
And there we see the full running orders there, and we can see a bunch of guys that had their problems. From Den all the way down to K. Lou, who blew up the motor there, as did Webb, and a couple other guys had some incidents and had to retire, like TG and Sean, and looks like Dougie there had a gearbox let go on him. Must have lost a gear there, so not the place that you want to lose a gear at Cali. But Matt Watkins, Mark DeSenza, Joe Cutt, top three. Great run by Joe Cutt. Real good to see him running and grabbing some big points there. That should certainly help him. And great runs by Troy Higgins. Sam was up there and got a little loose and had some contact, but straightened it back out and finished strong in 6th place there. Along with T-Roy, as Milt mentioned earlier, 7th. Guy Petra, 8th. Ken Ron, 9th. And Ryan Tracy rounding out the top 10. And great job by Ryan after taking that damage there to keep it in the top 10. That's a great job. And Rick Johnson and Michael Scott round out your lead lap cars, 11th and 12th. Just a real quality race there. Long green flag runs. We saw some green flag pit stops. We also saw Matt Watkins overcome a bad pit stall during some of those cautions and was able to get out in front of Mark during those cautions where Mark you would have thought had the advantage with that first pit stall, but then that final green flag stop is what really showed the quality of Matt Watkins driving, as he went from basically leading by 1/10 of a second to leading by over 4 seconds. And that was really what proved to be the difference, as Mark was able to catch Matt but wasn't able to pass him, as he probably had to use up those tires, which you can use up really quick here at Cali. And I think that was the final determining factor there with Matt taking it home.
Well, it's such a great race, and made no mistakes, but he's got to be sitting there scratching his head, going, "How did this just happen?" But when that final pit stop, Matt Watkins just nailed it, man.
Yeah, he sure did. And if you're Mark DeSenza, yeah, you got a 2nd place, but you have to think that, man, you had the best car all night, and you don't have really anything to show for it but a 2nd place finish. Got to be a little frustrating for Mark. At the same time, I'm sure he's happy with the points and the 2nd place.
Yeah, he's had the best car several times this season, and had worse luck. So
it's kind of almost not that he drives like him, but he's almost like a Kyle Busch, who's in some of those races is just really covered the field by far looking the best car, and then all of a sudden, some in the middle toward the third way through the race, all of a sudden there's some problem, and then he doesn't get that finish that you think he deserves.
Yeah, and you got feel for the 81. Kevin Lewis I think he was really going to be a player.
Yeah, I think he was too, Milty. That was a shame to see.
He just found third gear, man.
Yeah, you don't want to find third gear here at Cali at 190 miles an hour or so.
Well, and there's different ways to set up your wheel and stuff, and a lot of guys, and I've done that in the past too, where you buttons for each gear, so you can skip gears in certain types of racing. That helps you out, especially mostly road racing, but get used to that, and so I definitely guarantee he's not going to be laying his finger on third gear button again.
Yeah, that might be a lesson learned there, but yeah, a bad break there for Kalu. He just came out of the pit stop exchange with as the winner of that whole pit stop exchange, and then boom, bad luck hit him. And we're looking to see.
Looking at the stats there.
Yeah, we're looking at our great FSB stat page. Look at this page, Milty. Is there more information that you can pack onto a page here? Here's all the series, late model, sportsman, rookies. There's the Super Speedway series.
Yeah, in between making babies there, Jim Ray managed to start with a whole new company or start from scratch with moving all our stuff from our former provider, and now we're with NRT. Created this website, got all these points systems in order. Now we got a ticker along the bottom there. I mean, what a great deal.
Yeah, and since we have a little time here, Milty, a little preview of Friday night 88 Winston Cup Series. There we see the leaderboard, and we see Robert Bokum is the leader, Milty, and if he's still having some issues, his 45-point cushion, which is really a huge lead if you think about it, that could disappear in a heartbeat.
Yeah, well, that's, you hate to have, none of these guys want to see him not be on the track. They want to race him for the win. So.
Oh, absolutely. Really, it would be a shame if it happened, but I mean, the reality of it is, if he doesn't make the race, got Derby Don, Sean, and Webb are really going to be able to cut into that lead, and if Derby Don can pull out a big win, he could be basically right there again with him.
Yeah, and the name that sticks out to me is Steve Weber right there, because this is really his progression has really come a long way, and now when you see him with a chance, to get on the podium for Winston Cup Series, you got to root for the guy.
Yeah, Milty, and we see that the point standings have now been updated. You can see FSB Racing. We give feedback quickly. The race is over. 10 seconds later, there we got updated standings, Milty. Matt Watkins really taking advantage of Robert's problem there. A 7-point advantage has now blown up to a 32-point advantage for Matt Watkins. And you see Robert Bokum losing 2 positions and now 52 points out. That really hurt him.
Well, you want to go in a racing league, and you got admins, posting results. It's a real professional league, and you're, you got points, and got the chase coming up, and look, more stuff I can even understand.
Yeah, and Milty, one guy we haven't talked about, and because he's not here, Derby Don did not make the race as well. First race he's missed all season, and he's plummeted from 5th to 10th.
I think we're so focused on Bokum not making the race that we didn't even notice that.
That's a real shame for Derby Don. He's taken a big hit in the points, and as we look at the actual full point standings, which I have at my fingertips as well at FSB Racing, we can see the chase for the cup, the cutoff line there, and Derby Don now and TG are basically even in points. Derby Don getting the benefit of the nod there with the win. So he continues to hold the 10th spot, but you can see the race for 10th, Milty, is on.
Well, I'm glad you can find all this stuff, because I'm a little slow when it comes to computers, but I'm just sitting here watching right now, and there it is right on the screen. You got all the stats, you got wins, you got and you got the cutoff point right there, and how many races we got left here?
Well, that was race 12, so it's a 6-race chase. So we only got 2 more races left before the chase, Milty.
Yeah, so these guys got to get busy here.
Yeah, and you can see now with Derby Don's misfortune, there's other guys' benefits. TG is even in points. T-Roy only a point out, and Pop's only 4 points out of that coveted 10th position. This is old school chase for the cup. This isn't winning you're in. So you got to be in the top 10 in points, and the guys who do have wins that finish in the top 10 will get the benefit of some bonus points. But that's it. You got to earn your 10th position here, and you can see it's going to not be decided until the last race of the cutoff.
Well, even though they've changed it, it was still a great format, really exciting. Old school was good, had its now, and even the new, but we don't have the capability right now to do it just like they're doing it right now. But who knows?
We can also see someone languishing way at the bottom of the standings down in 27th, some guy named Minter Jr. But if you look at his stat line, Milt, who is this guy? 3 starts, 2 top 10s, and a win? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know that guy,
Who is that guy?
Well,
geez, just think if he did run the season, he'd be battling for the chase position right now.
Yeah, I have 2 championships, so I mean, I know a little bit about what it takes to win, but and it's make every race, and yeah, we've been doing this for a long time, and I don't know, I'm kind of having a lot of fun doing what we're doing right now.
Yeah, we are too, and
take it like it comes, and I can still race with these guys, and that's good enough,
Absolutely.
And
so
they're awesome. You watch this race tonight, it's all about the show, and it's about the drivers, man. And these guys really put on a show. You're in the sim race and want to be a part of this, or just want to watch it, I mean,
absolutely.
It's amazing.
FSBRacing.com. Check it out. Click on the links. Read everything. It's all there for you. There's a registration. You click on that, fill out a couple forms, and get your ass on the track.
I just got poked in TeamSpeak by a guy, Petra. He said I jinxed him, so.
All right, Milt. Well, let's sign off here after a really great race there by Matt Watkins here at Cali Speedway, and look forward to doing it again on Friday, Milty.
Yeah, love it. Love to be a part of it. Good night, and God bless.
FSB Racing.